Hi folks, welcome to my world. The Lycian Way, 500 kilometers and 75,000 feet of climb. I'm sure we'll enjoy the journey together. Must have heard me. Making good progress now. Unlike me. Hi guys. So I made it to my rest point and yeah, I decided that I would stop in Half Moon camping place. It's actually sets of wooden bungalows. I'll show you around. Got a bed for a night. Yep, the washing line. So needless to say, that's where I'm going after breakfast, where the mist is. So the English weather seems to have followed me. So this is a welcome surprise, so you go and help yourself over there and I guess put money in the honesty box. So how the landscape has changed. So this looks beautiful. But the trail, I believe, is very steep in places. So this is my view. So I think one of the best things about this tent is I can still wear my crazy hat inside. There's plenty of room, and one of the main reasons I bought it. I thought if I'm going to spend a month in this tent, or thereabouts, I want to have plenty of room. So it's actually a two-man tent, and yeah, plenty of room. So it's about 7 o'clock in the morning and I got here last night around about 5 o'clock-ish. I was quite surprised when I checked the mileage. It was about 20k, but the amount of climb was actually a total of 5,000 feet climb. It's nice and cool at the moment, and so yeah, I think obviously the earlier I start, the more gain with less pain. All set up, ready to go. And leave this wondrous place. So in the distance between the valleys, that is what I refer to as plastic land. So there's about 5 miles worth of plastic greenhouses for growing tomatoes. Sometimes I'm very intensively looking down as to where I'm going for obvious reasons, and you can be doing this for quite some time, especially with these paths, and then you forget to look up or look back. And then you remember why you're here. So guys, I've just met Demetria.
I start in Antalya and finish in Karaos, and this time I start in Kinik and would like to finish Fethiye.
Okay.
And another part, Lycian Way from Karaos to Kinik, nothing interesting. Just 30 kilometers walking, flat walking.
How many kilometers?
30.
30?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, too much, and it's nothing interesting. If it's here, it's old cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it, and there it's nothing.
Okay, I might need the taxi.
Yes, maybe.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. Can't turn it off. Oh, there we go. Spot on. So with the ancient city, and this is one of the gateways, and I was reading you might have to take your pack off. I think that's almost certain. Yeah, I'm going through the sea of plastic now, which I'm not looking forward to, especially given what time it is. So it's about 2 o'clock, so I'm kind of travelling through the heat of the day. I get the impression I might come across the odd shop or so, so hopefully I can take usage of that. But yeah, I'm having a little rest, just letting my body temperature drop a little bit, a few degrees, and then I'll be on my way again into the sea of plastic. I think they're running because they're guilty. Maybe they've been stealing tomatoes. Obviously not mountain goats. So everywhere I go, there's signs or adverts for tomatoes. It must be like advertising snow to Eskimos. It says a lot there about the monument, which is basically a pedestal with a chamber on top, a burial chamber. And it says it's a well-preserved example of the Lycian traditional pillar tombs. And it's to believe the grave dates back to 479 BC. Wow. However, it also does say the original of these embossments surrounding the burial chamber was abducted to the British Museum. That ain't so good. Let's go and have a look at the theatre. So folks, I can't believe what's happened. All this time I've been carrying my tent poles on the outside, and they're like double looped onto the rucksack, and I've lost them. I can't believe it. And this is my second night of wild camping and I've got no poles. So it's going to be a bit of a bivvy night. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm saying I love this tent because of the head height, and now I'm actually using my rucksack as a pole, and so yeah, really the tent is just acting as a kind of mosquito net. I'm hoping it doesn't rain, and there certainly isn't any predicted. This is my real wild nights camping. Oh, that's been such a shock though, such a shock. Can you hear that? Yeah, it's raining now. Oh, I'm having everything thrown at me again. Right, that's where we're going this morning. Well, today. And probably another 1 or 2 kilometres after that for me to get to my destination. So here you go, our morning view of the sea of plastic. So one of the things I haven't covered just yet is my weight. So I was officially weighed at the airport at 6.6 kilos. But of course since then I have loaded up with food and water and camping gas as well, because I had no gas with me. Obviously I didn't take it on the plane. And the canister of gas I got, wow, is quite a big one. I think it says 450 grams or millilitres. Even if it's millilitres, it still means it's going to be about half a kilo. The water I'm carrying, just to make sure I've always got enough, is 3 litres, so 1.5 litres either side, and then a 500ml bottle here as well. So I think I'm probably, when I'm fully loaded, I'm probably carrying about 12 kilos, which is kind of the upper limit of where I want to be. But it does mean, as I drink more water, I obviously reduce my weight quite a bit, but then I start worrying about have I got enough water. So a fine balancing act indeed. That does look a bit tricky maybe to get over, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Ooh. Oh, I do so love that. Yeah, when you're on the trail, this is definitely one of the things you have to look out for. They easily blend into the trail. So as you can see, I found the river. So, disaster number 2. When I crossed the river, would you believe my camera actually packed in? And no matter what I did, I couldn't get the damn thing working again. So it's at that point I decided I finally would have to stop for now. And I returned to the UK, got some pole replacements, also got the camera repaired, and tomorrow I return. So you can see now how this is a bridge, It says aqueduct as well. So, confirmation we're on the trail, and we've only got 1k to go to Patara, which is great news, going that way. So we understand this to be Harbour Street, and you could have done your local shopping here. Retail therapy has always been a thing. Right, we're on our way back now. Done the sightseeing. So everywhere I go there is building work, but in some ways not surprising given the potential for views. So there's one behind me that's going to have a view of Snake Island, which is directly in front of us. And then that little island there is called Mouse Island. Great view of Mouse Island and Snake Island. However, interestingly, someone has built themselves a platform over there. So we'll be dropping down into that bay eventually and heading over the coastline and a hill that way into Kalkan. Well, I'm resting at the moment, and that's my view. I got here about 20 minutes, half an hour ago. Actually, I've seen another hiker come past, a guy from the US, and we exchange ideas about which path to take. I actually am committed to the one I took this morning, and boy, it's really tough. That's why I'm just waiting for a bit of the edge of the heat to go off, which I think probably will have gone a little bit. But this is like the lower route. If you're ever coming this way and you're looking at your map, and you will see, I'll try and show you parts of it, it's very scrambly. That's the evidence from this morning. But the views help. Amazing to think this was once a fishing village. So back to where we started. Turns out 40 kilometers ago. So we're leaving Kalkan behind. Gained quite some height. And it amuses me, the higher I go, I keep thinking, maybe I've seen the last of the buildings. But they continue to clutch to the mountainside just to get that best view above their neighbours. And here, I don't know his name, but I'm calling him Butch. Keep telling him to go home. gonna get lost. Go on, Butch, go home! Oh well. He's certainly climbing better than I am. Right, well you can see, kind of going up there.
Naji, what's this?
I don't know. Don't know. Stop.
Okay. Getir bir bakayım ya nasıl oldu, çok merak ediyorum. Çok alakalı.
So it's 11:43 and I'm having a rest in the shade. So the plan today, well, the plan over the next couple of days is to try and get to a place called Kaz, and that's on the coast. And really, we're going over the mountains inland to actually get there. And I think by my reckoning, it's about 33 miles to get there. So I'm hoping I can do it in 2 days. So that would mean obviously 16, 17 miles per day, which might be pushing it, but it's not been too hot. So I'm fairly hopeful that I might actually achieve my goal. To get to Kaz in 2 days would be good. So loving the workman's hut.
Come in. Come.
So I was fairly down to my last drop of water. But then I had 6 taps to choose from. So it's nice to be walking through an ordinary Turkish village and just seeing houses that are not big villas. Sod's law, because I'm completely full of water. So the place we just visited, apparently, not only is it water, but it was an official rest place. And I think I found the camping ground. I think this is where I'm going to set up for the night. Here we go, all ready to go. So yeah, let's get started. Out to the woods we go. Get back onto the trail. One thing I think I should comment on is actually how cold it is. This morning you could actually see my breath, and then now my hands are quite cold. I wish I'd have brought some thin gloves. So those shepherds knew what they were doing. Look at the view. As it happens, my rucksack bottle has just run out, so I think I'll do a top up. Well, we've just come over that mountain. I love how all the mountains around here, they're all in the kind of 3,000 feet range. Anyhow, we followed that track that you can see in the woods, but then we kind of cut up I just came a few more meters and yeah, found quite a few more ruined buildings. And I believe we're going in that kind of direction, almost following the flow of the houses. And just over there is where Kaz is. Looks quite a long way actually. But I should make it before nightfall for sure. So I've seen some people do a wild camp here. And there's certainly sufficient space, a bit open, not very shaded, but the views, oh man, the views. My bed for the night or two. So why have boring concrete walls when you can have this? So this is the quayside. And I have a breakfast to go. The kind lady at the pension packed me a breakfast. So I'm eating it as I'm going along and I'm saving some for later. Well, we're doing what the Lycian Way does best. Gives you great views. And then you look at the path ahead and oh crikey, and what is even more interesting is there's supposed to be some ruins down here somewhere. So I think this gives you the measure of the problem. We've actually got ropes to help us. Yeah, not always easy, but you can't miss a ruin. Yeah, this is what the next part of our journey looks like. I'm glad it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. If it was later, the sun would be really bouncing off these rocks. Just thinking how remote this beach is, and if it was the other end of the day, it would make a good wild camping spot around here. But then a boat turns up. Looks like we're back to having our own private bay now. The fisherman is leaving. A perfect day for sunbathing. But we're trekking the Lycian Way. So, as anybody knows who watches my channel, a sure sign to make sure a calf is closed is for Nigel to see said sign saying calf. Hi folks, so this is my official first camping site in Turkey. Can't believe I've actually waited this long before I've stopped in an official camping site. The one thing of note about this particular trail or this particular holiday, not sure it is a holiday, the way things have gone. Anyhow, I seem to be having a disaster a day. So yesterday or the day before, I actually lost my mini tripod, so that was one thing. Then the next thing that seems to have happened is that my charging wire for my InReach has stopped working for some reason. And then today, one of my boots, so it's starting to come apart. I can't believe it. It literally is one thing after another. This trail really finds your weaknesses and kind of exploits them to the max. Anyhow, I'm determined that I will get through this one way or another. Okay, I'll show you around. Yeah, and there I am on the camping platform. As you can see, I gained a cat guard during the night. Quite sad to leave this place. Very pleasant experience and great host. Right, on that note, I best be going. Goodbye, cat. As you can see, some more in place. And in fact, we've come to the sea now. Well, an inlet of the sea. Yeah, you can see more ruins down there. And you can imagine this has been a thriving little port and therefore a city. Very ideal location. Look at that over there. So as you can see, I'm at the water's edge now. And I've just got to get around that corner. I can just about see boats in the distance. My Turkish subscribers. Yeah. So I now have a mile or two of road walking, but when you've got views like that, you don't mind so much. Of course, it's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so the heat is bouncing as usual. I don't feel as bad. I don't know if it's because I'm becoming accustomed to it, acclimatised, or is it just that there's such fantastic views. We have a ruined castle there, which was built by the Knights of St. John.
Home.
Home sweet home. Exactly.
Oh wow. This is definitely a room with a view. Morning folks, and a bright one it is. So last night, well yesterday afternoon, I left the Smugglers Inn, and then eventually I met some Turkish people who are now good friends. They decided they were going to Demre, which was a place I needed to get to. I wasn't quite sure because of the possibility of darkness, but I thought if I'm with a group of people, it should be fine. So yeah, we arrived at the campsite.
Yağmur mu yağmış?
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. I cannot believe that these guys have actually carried eggs
Onunla yenen onunla.
Ha sonra.
on the Lycian
Bekle
Trail.
anlatayım önce.
Yine öyle
Ha,
oldu.
beni tutacak mı?
Tabii biri
İyi tamam fark etmez.
Tamam.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Ben kazandım.
I'm losers.
Ah, okay.
I'm winner.
Yeah, good. Say again.
Yumurta tokuşu. Ha babam sana bunu izlemedin mi sen?
Say again.
Ah, winner.
Okay.
Şampiyon. Şimdi
And
You
you?
win.
sen ne? Sen tutacaksın.
So loser.
Because we were running short of time, we decided to hitchhike.
Buraya bak.
That should leave you in no doubt that it is for the Church of St. Nicholas. The campsite we're staying, or have been staying in last night, when we arrived in the dark, but they did send out a search vehicle for us. Well, it wasn't really a search vehicle. We weren't lost, but we were still about 2k away. And they kindly, we rang them up and they kindly sent us a vehicle to pick us up. Right, I'm going to pay at reception, so might as well come and have a look around. So apparently we're going to the lighthouse this morning. So this is the first confirmation we've had this morning that we're on the right route. You always worry a little bit until you see the first one. So since we've left the campsite, we're on this perfect track running alongside the coast. Morning!
Hi.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Morning, hiker.
Okay.
So this is what happens when Turkish people meet on the trail. We say we stop for 10 minutes, but I think it will be longer.
Mesela şöyle yaparım. Gideceğiniz yerlerin
Well, as you can see, we're gradually gaining height, and we've just passed this sign, which is 12 kilometers to where we're going. But we're just having another break. So it's another third of a kilometer to get to the top. And then it's mainly downhill, thank goodness. But as you saw from the videos, we're on the peninsula over there. Came along the skyline, down the back, and then back to here. So yeah, my tent. But I have to say that the team has now dispersed. They've gone back to Kaz to pick up their car and things, so their day's ended. However, tomorrow I'm going to Olympus, which is either around the mountain or over the mountain, but it very much depends on the weather. So folks, you may recall that my tent was just here, and I was having a rest day because partly my friends were leaving, and also I knew that the weather was going to change, and then it really rained cats and dogs, and thunder and lightning, and the place just became flooded. And so the good people of the campsite, it was kind of like all hands on deck. So initially we moved our tents just down here, but by that point they'd collapsed. Where we were was just like flooded, so we left the tents there. This tent here is like a storage tent, and they kind of took everything out for us. However, I saw I'd left my tent bag over where my tent was, and it was starting to blow away. So I got up and I ran over to here, ran back. Well, as you can see here, yep, I did that. So the consequences of that was this. Now, luckily, a couple of tents down, underneath the canopies, there seemed to be a nurse that knew what she was doing, or somebody who knew what they were doing, possibly a nurse, I would think. And yeah, so I was looked after. One tent gave me a blanket to keep warm, another tent gave me some socks, and yeah, I had so much help and kindness from all the Turkish people on the campsite. Hi folks, welcome back. So last night I spent in a bungalow, so it means in Adrasan I spent 2 rest days. One of them was planned and one was kind of enforced by the weather. So this morning I'm trying to walk over to Olympus. Yes, we're now wandering through the streets of Olympus, which feels rather strange to think how many people have trodden along this road over how many centuries. So the structure straight in front of us is a Roman temple. To do the Lycian Way, you have to go through Olympus. So it's almost like a toll, but well worth the money. We're at a place called Cirali Beach, and yeah, what can I say? Typical beach. Can't imagine what it must be like when all the people are here. So the next stage is that we're going to go actually on a coast path, kind of that way. You can go on a mountain pass, but I've heard good reports about the coastal path. So we need to get through this place, and I just noticed I can get on the road because it's hard going on the sand with my rucksack on. So yeah, I'm going to nip through there and get cracking again. Apparently this is a coastal national park to protect the endangered sea turtles nesting areas. Someone's actually camping and canoeing there. I think that's the way to arrive. So that's the name of the bay that we're in. Another turtle laying area. Well, there's the last bay that we came from. And before that, right in the distance, over there, you can see a mountain. And we started this morning over the other side of that mountain. I always find these great wild camping spots when I'm not looking for them and when I can't use them. I mean, can you imagine that as a view? Another bay, and it looks like this one's got absolutely no people there, no boats, no nothing. So if you're coming this way, your eye might be drawn by the orange sticker, and hopefully that will help to highlight that there's water over there. Of course, you probably want to know what the sticker says. And another protected bay for the sea turtles, who return every 2 or 3 years to lay their eggs. And about 100 eggs when they do so. Also, apparently, if it's above 30 degrees, it is more likely to be a female that is hatched. And they like to nest at night, and the babies emerge at night when the sand is at its coolest. And then make a mad dash for the sea. So there's the place we're heading, but I am worried about how windy it's getting. Is it going to rain? Clouds don't look too helpful. Morning folks. As you can see, I'm having a red morning today. Well, a red day. Thought I'd brighten things up a bit. So last night I stopped at a pension. So today I'm kind of still following the coastal path, but eventually, probably when I think, I mean, it's 11 o'clock, that's the other thing, I had a late start this morning. I wanted to take advantage of the breakfast at the pension. I think it's going to be mid-afternoon before I start heading away from the coast. And then, yeah, this is tricky. Oh. And then start heading into the mountains. And once I get back on the mountain route, I'm with the mountains then until the finish. Well, we've come to another archaeological site. One I wasn't necessarily expecting. It just seemed to appear. Wasn't on my itinerary, but wow. So I've walked through the Roman gate apparently, and now I'm walking down the main street. So I have to say, I think I enjoyed those ruins more than Olympus. In fact, the Lycian Way is about linking up 18 archaeological sites. Oh, it's just so nice, quiet, relaxing here. Not hard on my feet for once. Nice and bouncy with the pine needles. Well, I think we're finally in the mountains. So we're following this road for some while, and then the road kind of departs from the river, which is down there. Well, if it had been a bit earlier in the day, I could have had a tea break, or a beer break, or swim even, as some people are swimming. Not sure I'll be coming in the rainy season. Can you imagine the torrent coming down here? And then the devastation that is done. Look at that rock formation. And possible landslide. Hi folks, so got a great wild camping spot. I think definitely the best one since I've been on this particular walk. It's kind of down off the trail. Now it was in my app that it was along here, but really great that people have set up signs and directing you down off the trail to where this particular spot is. And it's perfectly flat, no stones, covered in pines. In fact, I don't really even need to put my sleeping mat down, it's that soft. Now you can probably tell from that rock, it's starting to rain. Just a little bit, but it's progressively getting worse, very slowly. However, wanted to have a look at the landscape as well. Stopping for a short break. So as you saw, I just stopped at a cafe. Really good. Excellent Wi-Fi. Managed to ring my wife. Very happy about that. Oh, and my mother-in-law. Should get an extra point. Oh, this just gets more and more interesting. Thank goodness I've got a small pack, is all I can say. So the idea of this part of the route is to bring you through the canyon. Well, I've already done one canyon. I can see, like the other canyon, it's going to be a challenge. So there's a note in my app that says difficult creek crossing. And I'm like, yeah, totally. I guess I'm pretty lucky that it's not any deeper. I don't need to use the log. So yeah, as you can see, I've decided to go feet first. So I've done, probably, I'm trying to think, probably 8 kilometers of the 13 that needs to be done. That's my rough estimate. And I can see now why this is a section on its own, even though it's only relatively small compared to other ones. It's just hard work all the time, but again, as always, rewarding in its own way. This is definitely a country waiting to be explored even more. Right, need to get on. With a start to the day like this, you can only win. Now we just need to wait for it to open, which is supposed to be at 9 o'clock. So yeah, that's where we're going this morning. 19 kilometers. And apparently it's all uphill. And if you believed it will take me all day. So I've only been going 10 minutes. I can tell it's going to be a tough day ahead of me. Last night I finished in reasonably good time, just before it's starting to get dark. Stopped at a pension, good breakfast, good evening meal, and managed to have a shower and wash a few clothes and get fully charged again, because tonight I am expecting to be camping out in the natural environment. So I was walking along the trail, minding my own business, and then suddenly, almost as I put my foot on the ground at this point, the water just started spurting out. It shocked the life out of me. Well, as you can see, we're getting to a place where it's actually something to look at. So I am now on part of the trail that it says is extremely steep. And I am feeling it. I'm having to stop like every 5 minutes or so. And I was just calculating before, I've done 6 miles since 8:30 this morning, and it's now 2 o'clock. However, as I said before, good news is at least there's something to look at, and the tree density is a lot less. One thing is, by going ultralight, you can get through gaps like this with your rucksack. And there's many time I've had to duck down, and luckily my rucksack doesn't get caught up. But I've seen most of them on the trail are definitely carrying, I'd say, an average between 17 and 20 kilos, which crikey knows how you get up here with that kind of load. Yeah. That's where we just come from. But like I say, there's something to look at. So this next bit, I think, is the last bit of climb. And up the top or around here somewhere, it's called Uncle's Gate. So I think this is Uncle's Gateway. Oh dear. I knew I had to go down now. I didn't realise it would be quite so steep. So we're at the highest point for today, 4,900 feet or 1,500 meters. And you've got to remember, we started at sea level. To get to the finish, yes, we're going to the finish tomorrow. It's 14.5 miles. That means I've got 15.5 miles to go. But reading the trail review about what's coming next, I think it's gonna be, yeah, still challenging. And there's some easy bits, to be fair. But there's a lot of kind of like rugged up and down. So yeah, we'll be pushing it a bit to try and make sure I get to the end. And in fact, what I want to do is try and get up early, so as soon as there's a hint of light, I want to be on my way. On this note, I'm going, because like I say, I'm starting to feel quite cold. Morning, folks. And what a cold morning it is at over 3,000 feet. Yeah, I can't believe I'm over 3,000 feet and in an orchard. It feels so weird compared to obviously being in the UK. And just look at this orchard. I'm really, with the colours, yeah, so what can I say? Managed to oversleep. My aim was for a 7 o'clock start, and I have to admit, it's more like 8 o'clock. I think because it was so cold outside, and the thought of getting out my sleeping bag meant I used the snooze button maybe once too much. Did work out last night. When I get to the finish, it will be about 262 miles. Obviously I'll work it out exact, but that's pretty good going. I think I'm on day 17 maybe. Again, I can check all of the stats later on. Oh, the view. Okay, that sign means we're about to start the last section, which is 9.4 miles. This is the Lycian city of Trevena. And as you can see, there's been no archaeological kind of tinkering or discovering. And so if you came here, you could kind of explore it for yourself. Wow. And yeah, some Lycian light in there. Do not enter unless you've walked the Lycian Way. My first sighting of Antalya, which I will need to fly from. So on my map it shows the finish being the track leading onto the road. But according to this here, it's actually 700 metres down the track. So it's not where it meets the road, which is slightly annoying because that means I actually walked past it. So I need to go and find it, and I'm going to stay down that area anyhow. But can't believe that. Making me walk all that extra 700 metres. Yes, I've done it. I'm not sure what to say now, other than I've done it. Oh, that has been an epic journey. It's the trail that's kind of chews you and spits you out. But what a learning experience. In fact, what an experience. The people I've met, the things I've had to overcome. Such a joy to do. And I'm glad I've done it.